Hi, I'm Kevin. Thanks very much for agreeing to help us by providing some video for use in our project. We hope it won't be too much of a chore, rather more of a pleasant distraction in these strange times. We're not looking for a lecture, just a couple of minutes of insights that you can share with visitors to our website. The old rules of formality are out of the window. We're all used to seeing politicians and experts appearing in casual clothes from their back bedrooms, and we understand that that's probably where you're going to be filming this piece, so make it as informal as you like. I hope to share with you over the next 2 or 3 minutes some tips for getting the best recording possible in the present circumstances. What are you going to need? Well, probably the easiest thing is something that most people have in their pocket or bag right now, and that's their mobile phone, which can record very good pictures and equally good sound. That's great. You can also use a laptop with a webcam, or if you have it, a digital camera which is capable of recording decent quality sound at the same time. So any of those is just fine. What software do you need? Well, nothing special. All smartphones have a camera built in, and so you can go through the camera app, select video, and just press to record. You could use the selfie camera as I'm using now, or if somebody else is helping you, you can use the forward-facing camera that you'd normally use to take pictures with. Either is fine. Normally when we're filming, somebody like me comes along and puts up a camera and lights and sound, and unfortunately in these circumstances we're asking you to do all those things yourself. So if you do have somebody with you that can give you a second pair of hands and you're comfortable for them to do so, to help you out, then it can be very helpful. They can hold the phone or camera, much easier for them to keep you in focus, to make sure there aren't things sticking out of the top of your head or out of your ears, there aren't clutter of things on the side, and that your face and body are in focus rather than the background wall or the bookshelf or whatever it is you've got behind you. If you have a microphone or even a headset and they're going to use that, they can help you by holding that closer to you. But I think the most valuable thing about having somebody else is that they can perhaps prompt you. They can remind you of the things that you wanted to say, and they can even throw questions at you like a real interviewer would.
So tell me again, what was the importance about having another pair of hands?
Because almost all of us find it easier to answer questions rather than just say something off the top of our head or remember notes or look at a script. So yeah, cajole, press gang your other family members into helping you out with this shoot if you feel comfortable doing so. We recognise that options for filming locations are rather limited right now. You're probably going to be doing this at home. We're all familiar with people filming in front of a bookcase, but it's equally fine to do it in your kitchen, at your dining table, a spare room, maybe even an armchair in the living room. We probably don't recommend you sitting in a sofa because you tend to sink down, and that sort of makes us look a little bit too casual and unflattering. But you can use a yard or a garden. The light will be nice there and the background probably equally pleasant and not distracting. Feel free to stand or to sit, whatever suits you, makes you feel more comfortable. Do make sure you're filming in landscape mode. That's the way round like this, sort of long ways on. That's normally holding your phone on the side. The shape of a normal photograph, the shape of most pictures that we see. It's much better suited for people who are looking on a computer screen, and it makes it easier for us to edit. So if you do it the sort of typical selfie way, using the camera upwards like this, you end up with difficult pictures for us to edit and very hard to make suitable for use. So much prefer, please, if you could film this way round, what we call landscape mode. What about light? Yeah, if you see here, I'm standing in front of a window, and it's just kind of washed out this sort of white, turning me almost into a silhouette, and sometimes the camera might even lock like that so that the background is in relief, you get the detail, but my face just becomes a silhouette. So instead of doing it that way around, just spin round, and so the sun is in a different direction. See, here is a harsh light on one side of my face, but if I move around, then the light is coming from the face, and the background, which I don't really want to show very much, is in complete darkness, and my face and body are in sharp relief, which is kind of what we want. Just another experiment here. So if I'm standing close to the window, you see the light is very strong and the other side of my face is in shadow. So if I move a little bit further away, we get balance, which is a bit better. And this angle, there we are, look, I'm in front of a blank wall. And again, that's quite a nice balanced light. There's not too much light coming on one side of my face, but there is a little bit of shadow, but not too much from the other side. It helps. There's another window at that end of the house, and the light walls are bouncing around. So there's enough light to be away from the window without making it too harsh. Okay, we're seeing a lot of kind of chins and up nostrils in this lockdown period because people are putting phones and laptops on the desk. And what we really want to get is get an eye level shot. And that's easier said than done when you're working on your own. So I'm looking for somewhere high at about eye level. And I found this shelf here, which is at the right kind of eye level. If I put my phone up like that, now I can see that the phone is at my eye level. I don't have to worry about my hands. My hands are free, and it's not looking up my nostril, up at my chin. It's not looking down the top of my head. So that's quite that's the most flattering and balanced and comfortable place, is if you can get the phone at kind of eye level. Well, there's a funny thing about recording video, and that's that the sound is actually more important, I would say, than the pictures. You think that's strange, but then think about the number of times you've shouted at the television because you can't make out what people are saying clearly. And then compare that with the number of times you might have shouted at the television because the pictures are out of focus or the composition's a bit poor. With sound, our brains just aren't able to make up the bits that we miss. So the golden rule with sound is that the closer you are, the clearer it will be. And I'm just showing you here on the side of the screen what my phone is seeing. You can see that it's picking up lots of sound because I'm only about, say, 2 feet, about 60 centimetres away. Now, the further away I move, the sound level is clearly dropping, and it drops very quickly. So if I'm here, sort of 2 or 3 metres away, about 10 feet, you can see there's much less sound for it to pick up. And the camera or whatever recording device you're using is much more likely to pick up other background noise, like the echo of the room, the washing machine next door, the kids playing, or the neighbours arguing. So the golden rule is always to be as close as you possibly can without overwhelming the frame. So this kind of distance, 60 centimetres, 2 feet let's say, is about right. It's comfortable for the picture, and it's a really good clear sound recording, as you can see in the little indicator bar on my phone there. If you do have a microphone that you can plug in, by all means use it. And a good substitute is actually the headset, the earpiece that you plug in to listen when you're going out for a run, for example. That has a little microphone on it. And if you want to stand slightly further away, you can plug that in and you can hold that in your hand. And it means that the phone will be picking up the sound closer to you than it would be if you were just using the microphone on the phone. So that's a good tip in any circumstance. Don't worry about the technical specs. We can take them however they come. But if you are looking for particular settings, if you have a choice and using a sort of a special app to record video, which some people do, these are the settings that we ask you to use. But it's really not important. Don't worry about them unless you wish to. Final checks before you film. Do check the background to make sure it's not showing something that you don't want to show. We've seen in the past few weeks, family photos, paperwork showing perhaps bank details, unmade beds, overflowing laundry baskets, unsuitable reading material. Just have a scour around and make sure that you're happy with the picture that's in the background. If there's anything that you discover later, we can blur it out. We can do something to get rid of stuff that shouldn't be there, maybe a family photo or something, or pictures of children that you don't want to share. Do finally, before you start, just give the lens a clean. I'm using the selfie lens on the front of the camera. There's one obviously on the back, the forward-facing lens, and these phones go in and out of our pocket. They get very grubby, dusty, scratchy. You can really improve the quality of your picture recording if you just give it a wipe with a lens tissue, lens cloth, or even the edge of a clean shirt or t-shirt, just to get the muck away and give the lens a chance. Actors, teachers, politicians, television journalists are used to reading from a script, but most of us aren't, and it's quite an awkward thing to do and never seems natural. So by all means, ditch the script, just speak naturally to the camera. That is always easier if you're talking to somebody. So if you have somebody behind the camera that can throw you a question, prompt you, remind you of the points you wanted to make, that's great. By all means, leave their voice in and we'll cut them out and make the video when we edit it. If not, just imagine that you're talking to somebody. I have nobody behind the camera now, but just imagine that you're talking conversationally rather than following a script. I have some notes in my hand and that reminds me of the things that I wanted to get across, and that might be helpful, of course, as it always is. Do think of an example or two that can illustrate a point that you want to make, a particular case study, something that's happened in the past. And by all means, do tell a story. Everybody loves a story. Don't worry if you fluff. To err is human, to forgive divine, and we forgive you. I can't tell you how many times I've fluffed up making this video today. You can use any... What should you use to film with? I mean, what do you need? Well, I'm just pressing the... We really don't mind if the video is informal and you make a few slips, as I've done. It's perfectly normal and conversational, it just makes it feel completely natural. If you really do stumble, just stop the sentence you're at, start again from the sentence, just pick up where it's comfortable and start again, and we'll make a little edit to cut out the bad bit if you like. If it takes you several attempts, really don't worry. I'm a TV producer in my time and I can't tell you how many famous faces have taken dozens sometimes of takes to get something right. It's perfectly normal. If you're not getting there, just sit down, maybe go and have a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, have a break, come back to it later when you sort of settle down a little bit. Nerves can get the better of you. But if you do get it right first time, even if it's a bit rough and ready, absolutely fine. The first take is often the freshest. Now, experience tells me that one of the most difficult parts of actually sharing a video with anybody is getting hold of it and sharing it. So we've given you some instructions. I'll put up here and also make available in the email, just to explain to you how to get things to us. It can be a little bit tricky to find out where the recording's gone and then how to share it. Very often the best way is to go to the gallery, and then you can click on the videos that you want to send, and then there's normally a little option, a sub-menu which says share with, share to, send to. Look there for options that you've got. But if you need any help, get in touch and we'll help them get you the videos off your phone. Do try and send videos to us when you're on your home Wi-Fi network and not when you're on your cell phone network, because the files are very big. They do take a time to send. And if you have a low data plan, they'll bust your data in no time at all. If you've got any text or pictures, graphs, images that would illustrate your point and you have them to hand, by all means send them to us and we'll incorporate them in the finished video. Yeah, finally, from me and everybody at SEMPAC, thank you very much for doing what you're doing. We really appreciate it. We hope that this video and the notes have helped you. If you need any help, just get in touch and we'll do whatever we can because we really appreciate what you're doing. You're doing our job for us. Thank you.